And we're live.
Well, what's up, everyone? Welcome back to Against the Spread. This is week 14. Nope. Is it? No, it's week
Week
15.
15, baby.
It's week 15 NFL picks. We are live here tonight. First time this season. So let's start with our recap. So 8-3 last week. The boys were hot. And like we said before, if you don't follow the Twitter, post picks on there as well. So if you get them from here, go to Twitter to get picks that we post, because it's not just the Twitter picks. So 8-3 plus 3.5 units last week brings our total up to 11.06 on the NFL season.
Yes, sir.
I mean, if you're $100 a unit, you're up over $1,100. That's a good thing, right? So Cleveland minus 1.5. Christian's lock of the week hit easy. LA Rams plus 7.5. That was an easy. They should have won the game outright. Lost in overtime. But we had 7.5. Does not matter. Cincinnati plus 1.5. Told y'all last week we got it at 1.5. If you watched the pod, by Sunday that line was Cincinnati minus 2.5. So I mean, it didn't matter either way. But make sure you're getting these things when you watch this thing on Thursday. You get the better line. Chicago plus 4.5. Outright winner there.
Easy.
Plus a unit. Easy. New York Jets plus 3.5. Outright winner there. Easy. Buffalo plus 1.5. Another outright winner. I mean, we saw last week or the week before that it was all the favorites were winning, and we were heavy on the underdogs this week. Vegas didn't lose in 2 weeks in a row, as you can see here. Minnesota minus 2.5. They won 3-0, but we will take it.
Yeah, that one was funny. I honestly didn't even watch that game. Didn't even check the score in the game. I was like, oh, let me see if Minnesota hit. I forgot I took them, and I was like, what am I looking at? I was like, nah, no way. 6-0? Like,
Yeah.
what? Is this the NFL still?
Yeah.
I thought I was watching an Iowa game. I didn't know.
Yeah, it was bad. New England minus 6 on Thursday night. Christian, I think you had that one, right? Yeah, and
Yep.
that one hit. So this one hurts here. I had this as a lock. Christian had it as a play. Jacksonville, Cleveland,
My bad,
under
Troy.
35.5. This line was at 35.5 when we took it. It went all the way down to 30.5, and then jumped back up to 35.5 by game time. So it was just crazy. We took it with the weather, thinking it was going to be bad weather. We also thought Trevor Lawrence wasn't going to play with the high sprained ankle. He came back, and congrats to him. I've never seen someone come back that quick from a high ankle sprain. Oh, well, that was not even close. So that's where we lost the majority of the units this week. Philadelphia plus 3.5. God, I wanted to change this so bad by Sunday, Christian, because of everything I was hearing. I liked Philly on Wednesday when we took it. Thursday, and then by Sunday I was completely changed. So I think in the future when that happens, we're just going to tweet out that we're changing it. If we have that feeling, we're going, or we're just going to take the play off, because that was doomed by Sunday. We were both talking about it, and I'm sitting there being like, "Go Eagles," but I didn't like it at all.
All week, I even said on the show, I was like, "This is the one. I think this is the one game me and you were on different sides." And I was like, "I'm honestly probably going to hammer Dallas," and I ended up hammering it, and it smashed. But me and you were talking about it. I think we were looking too much into the AJ Brown kind of scenario. I stayed away from it as a play on the pod, but I ended up taking Dallas, and they hit big time. But man, let's go ahead and hop into this week. And also, Troy, my bad. Zach's in the chat. He said 11-3. It's actually 10-4. Zach, my bad. I completely forgot. Troy's lock last week. He changed it from the Rams to the under. Unfortunately,
I should have kept it with the Rams.
He should have kept it as the Rams. We overthought that one a little too much, but
yep.
Hey, we're on to this week. We had a huge week last week.
Huge
week. So let's hop into this week. We got Chargers at the Raiders. We got Raiders minus 2.5 with the over under a 34.5. If I was to lean anywhere, it would be the Chargers. I put them in a parlay this week at plus 3. Only reason I did that is because you're still playing the Raiders, man, and Aiden O'Connell. Chargers are still a better team, even though Herbert's not playing. They're still a better team. I don't see how they can really get much worse. So I mean, I'm gonna take. I would take him in a parlay. Maybe it was like a little teaser or something. But I'm staying away from this one as an official play. I may just take this in a parlay and call it a day. You got anything on this one, Troy?
Yeah, no, let's not spend too much time on this one. Aiden O'Connell versus the Chargers backup. I don't even remember. Like it's like what is it? Stick or I don't remember the guy's name. Never heard of him until last week. I will say teams that are getting shut out, that got shut out the week before, which would be the Raiders this week, are 70% against the spread since 2015. So just a little note there for y'all if you do like the Raiders, that is in your favor. But nothing for me on this one. 2 backup quarter of the game. Maybe shoot for the under on this one.
10-4. We're getting a little internet connection here. There we go. Sorry about that, boys. You're getting a little bad internet connection here.
What is that right there?
It's just a little connection on the internet, but we're good. Let's hop into this next one. We got Minnesota at Cincinnati. Cincinnati minus 2.5 with an over-under of 40. I don't have anything on this one. Don't even really have a lean. I mean, can't bet against that bad man Browning. And I'm sure as hell not going to take the Bengals still though. Even though it's at home, only minus 2.5. I mean, they've had 2 big weeks with Jake Browning at quarterback. I'm waiting for this setback. I mean, we're hearing in the news that when Joe Burrow gets back, he might have a quarterback battle on his hands. Get the fuck out of here. Right past the 5-minute mark. I had to sneak that in there. But get the fuck out of here. Jake Browning is not better than Joe Burrow. We got to remember, guys, Joe Burrow basically in his first year took this team to the Super Bowl. Didn't play his rookie year, played his second year. So, yeah, I'm not taking this one. Too much hype on Browning right now. You got anything on this one, Troy?
There's not too much hype on Browning. Dude has been electric. First quarterback to start his first, 3 starts? Is it 3 starts he's been in or 2?
I think it's 2.
Either way, it still works. But I saw this today on NFL Live. First quarterback since 1950 to have a completion percentage like he has in his first 3 starts. He's been impressive. The film does not lie. He knows what he's doing out there. He's got really good weapons. Jamar Chase, T. Higgins. Joe Mixon has been running the ball really well. And the backup for them, the backup running back, has looked really well as well. So I'm not going to take the Bengals because this is one of those games where it's a bunch of backup quarterbacks playing again. And I think Josh Dobbs is not playing for the Vikings this week either.
Nick Mullins got announced as a starter, yeah.
Do what?
I said Mullins got announced as a starter.
Okay, that's what I thought. So, yeah, nothing for me on this one, but I would be heavy lean for the Bengals here. I mean, we might tweet this one out, Christian. I don't see how the Vikings win this game.
Yeah. I and maybe even throw it in a parlay money line. I mean, the minus 2.5 isn't too scary. Maybe you can tease it up to Cincinnati plus 3.
Yeah, I mean Browning.
Because we know
Browning is a dog.
Yeah, and there's no way they're losing this.
Give me Browning over Mullins all day.
Yeah.
Joey B's giving up his suite to the family as well.
Yeah,
he's feeling good.
The only thing that worries me is Mullins when he played Atlanta. That first drive when he got hurt. I think it was Mullins, but he went down the field and almost scored. So that's a little scary for me. But I mean, we're still talking about a backup quarterback here, and obviously Browning is still a backup, but he's a good backup. Let's hop into this next one. We got Pittsburgh at Indianapolis. I got a play on this one, so I'm gonna let you take this one, Troy.
Yeah, I was telling you earlier I like the Steelers when it was at 2.5. Obviously, the pros do too because that number has moved down. The only thing that scared me, and which is why I didn't take it, is because we don't know if T.J. Watt's playing. And in games where T.J. Watt has not played in his career, I believe the Steelers are 1-7 ATS. So scared me away on that. But this is a classic Mike Tomlin spot. Underdog. Are they at home? I think they're at home, right?
No. This is in Indianapolis.
No, they're on the road. I'm sorry. You're right. Yeah, classic Mike Tomlin spot here. You know what he does as an underdog. Everyone about the Steelers saying they're not going to make the playoffs. This is like your typical they're going to go make the playoffs as a wild card to go beat the Ravens in the first round or something. You know what I mean?
That's what I
So
like to hear, Troy.
you know how Mike Tomlin is, man.
That's what I like to hear.
He's been a coach since '06 for the Steelers for a reason, or '05, whatever it is. Just don't like the TJ Watt news, so that's why I'm staying away.
Absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, this can be one of my plays of the week. I got Pittsburgh +3 on Monday. Reason being is if you were to sit into this room throughout this week, they're basically game planning for possibly the worst defense in the league, in the Colts. The Colts defense is god awful. They allow the run more than any team in the league, I think. And then you're also game planning against Gardner Minshew, which, as a coach like Mike Tomlin, game planning against Gardner Minshew is that's a light day. That's easy. That's easy work. We love Pittsburgh in underdog spots. We hate them in favorite spots. You see the hat. I faded them against Arizona. I had Arizona +6.5. They lost that game outright. Called that one on the money. I think I'm almost undefeated on Pittsburgh Steelers games this year. So let's hopefully keep that going. Pittsburgh +3 till the day I die. Love that pick. Let's hop into this next one. I have a pick on this one as well, Troy, so I'm going to let you take the lead on this one. But we got Denver at Detroit. Detroit -4 with an over-under of 47.5.
Yeah, this is a tough one here. Two great football teams this season. The Broncos have had the bounce back of the year, I think, starting the year off the way they did, getting beat by 70. And now turning around the season, beating the Chiefs. I mean, beating some really good football teams. Had a good win against the Chargers last week. And then you have the Lions coming off that bad loss to the Bears. Their defense doesn't know. They don't know what the fuck they're doing anymore, I guess. Jared Goff looked really bad. So I look for a bounce back from the Lions, but I just have a hard time betting against this Broncos team. So, I mean, I know where you're going with it, so I won't spoil it, but I have a hard time going either side here. I don't really see value in it. So I'll let you take this away and tell us what you're doing.
Yeah, this is going to be also one of my plays of the week, Detroit -4. Reason being, we talked about it last week a little bit. Jared Goff playing outside in nasty conditions. We're picking the other side every time. But he's coming back home off some tough losses, man. And this team has been playing like shit. I mean, like straight shit. So this spread, you know, if they would have played 3 weeks ago, we're looking at a 6.5, 8.5 possible spread. So give me Detroit -4 at home. Indoors. We know what Jared Goff likes to do indoors. We say it all the time. We take Jared Goff indoors. I think this is going to be a blowout spot possibly. I think people are overvaluing Denver a little bit. They are good, but let's still not forget about that team that lost, like Troy said, but had 70 points put up on them. And if there's any team,
I think that's a different football team now, man. The defense has showed up every week now.
Yeah, for sure. Definitely a different team. Definitely a different team. I definitely don't disagree with that at all.
First year with Sean Payton, they're starting to figure it out offensively.
Yeah, but
Russell Wilson.
Anytime you lose like that,
if you watch,
it's hard to shake that off. You know what I mean? It's always going to be in the back of your head that the entire season.
No, I totally get it. I mean,
yeah, but
when I watched the tape on. No, I got you. When I see it on Russell Wilson after the first half of the year, he's a different guy now. He's just processing things a lot better under this new offense. He's now going, okay, first read, second read, then let me figure it out and get out of the pocket, or let me scramble, get a first down here. And before he was going through progressions when that was never what he was as a quarterback. He was always a first, second read guy. Get out, right? But now with Sean Payton, he's starting to do that again, and I think he's back to his old way. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, I can just see this week being the week that Detroit's offense gets back on track, and that's definitely why I'm playing it. Huge bounce back spot for Detroit after losing an ugly divisional game to Chicago. This is a must win spot for them to get back on track and get ready for the playoffs. But let's hop into this next one. We got Houston at Tennessee. We got Tennessee -2.5 with an over/under 37.5. And I just saw Rich's chat here. Christian hoping the Steelers don't fall in the abyss after losing to the Pats. Yeah, no. This is a bounce back spot, Rich. We just lost to the worst team in football, possibly. But Tennessee -2.5 with the over/under 37.5. This is a weird one for me. I really, really wanted to take Tennessee minus 2.5 after watching Houston last week. Not having their weapons, C.J. Stroud getting hurt. A lot of stuff is going wrong for the Texans right now. So huge lean to Tennessee minus 2.5 after they just had that huge win over Miami, and coming back to the house to play the Houston Texans. This is a huge spot for Tennessee, and I really like this. Is probably gonna be a game time play. Might have to add this on the Twitter. And I'm not sure, Zach, if CJ is playing, but I'm pretty sure that he is doubtful. I believe he is doubtful to play this week. So most likely not playing, but I mean the amount of times that we have taken Jacksonville games or the other side of Jacksonville games or Jacksonville unders, and this man Trevor Lawrence has played, pisses me off. I've lost so much money on Trevor Lawrence supposed to not be playing any plays. So I'm not gonna have anything on this one. Huge lean to Tennessee minus 2.5. May take it game day, but nothing right now. You got anything on this one, Troy?
No, this is another one of those. You kind of bet on the coach here with Vrabel at home. We've seen what Tennessee has done at home. I think they just got their first road win against the Dolphins last week. And I don't think CJ's playing. He is in concussion protocol. And the guy who is the reason why they drafted CJ in the first round. So, huge lean to the Titans here. I'm just not taking it because I don't know if CJ's playing or not. He's in the protocol. So if he comes out of it, he's playing. I'm not taking the Titans whatsoever. So that's the reason it's not a play for me. I think if it's announced that he is not definitely playing, then you got to lean Titans here.
Absolutely. Let's hop into this next one. We got New York Jets going to Miami. Miami minus 8.5 with the over under 37.5. I got to play on this one, so I'm gonna let you take the lead on this one. Troy, you got anything on this one?
Yeah, no, nothing for me here. Dolphins. So I think it comes down to this here. We saw what the Dolphins were last week offensively when Tyreek went out the game. It didn't look that good. So that's up in the air, right? He's questionable to play. And then the Jets last week, Zach Wilson came out and fucking balled. That defense is still that defense. They're still amazing. So, and they got blown out game one in New York. So I think it comes down to this. If Tyreek plays, I'm a heavy lean to the Dolphins. If he does not play, then I'd be all over the Jets. But it's one of those games, again, like we were just talking about with CJ. I don't know if he's playing or not. And I'm not going to put money on something when there's a question mark there because he's the MVP. I know we were talking about Dak last week and Purdy, but after watching that Monday night game with Tyreek, he comes out and that offense just looks not like themselves. It has me wondering, well, shit, is he the MVP, right? Because they didn't look the same. So I think it's a toss-up until he's playing. I don't see why you would take either side here until we figure that out. If he plays, hammer the Dolphins. If not, hammer the Jets, in my opinion.
Absolutely. This is going to be my lock of the week. New York Jets plus 12.5. They were at plus 12.5 Monday. Took them Monday at plus 12.5. Reason being, Tyreek, no Tyreek, I don't care. We see these Dolphins. The Dolphins are good, but they're not what they were the first half of the year. I think teams have gotten a little bit more tape and stuff on Tua in this offense. Because there wasn't, with Tua in and out of injuries, them changing up their offensive scheme, there wasn't a whole lot of game plan for them. They just lost to the Titans, so it could be a big bounce back spot. But we saw how the Jets played last week, man. But yeah, I mean, this team, this Jets defense, they're gonna lock up. I think these Dolphins receivers and Tua. We know Tua doesn't play well with pressure in his face. So I mean, I love the Jets in this spot. I think this end of the year, we're gonna see the Jets really kind of perk up and start playing real good. They've been shit on so much this year. Zach Wilson's been shit on so much this year. I think this is a big comeback story for the Jets. So plus 12.5. I could honestly, this is gonna sound insane, I could see the Jets winning this thing outright.
Zach, you're spot on right there. With your comment.
Yeah,
that's why I think it plays a different ball game. But So would you still take him at 8.5? Because it's at 8.5 now.
I don't think I would take the 8.5. But I mean, I'd have to look at it because, like I said, I think the Jets could win this outright. Do I think they're going to? No, because the Dolphins lost last week. But I honestly could see in a world where the Jets win this game outright. I think that Zach Wilson just looks really good. I don't think people realize how good of a quarterback Zach Wilson really is. He's just young and he's not an experienced quarterback right now. He's one of those guys that needed to sit, 2 or 3 years and then play. But I could see him lighten it up this week like he did last week. So, yeah, man, give me Jets plus 12.5. That's way too many points for this defense. Way too many points for how good Zach Wilson's been playing. And also we got to remember what happened the last time this team played. They played on Black Friday. The Jets should have been in this game, but instead they started Boyle. Boyle sucked. And then also you had that bullshit halftime, right before halftime, pick six for 105 yards or whatever it was. So yeah, I mean, it's a big spot for the Jets. Miami already won one against them, so I don't see it happening again. Hopefully, I am gonna have a little underdog parlay with the Jets in it money line. So we'll see how that goes. But let's hop into this next game. We got Chicago.
You should
go ahead,
Christian. You should make it instead of doing a parlay, you should do a round robin with underdogs. So that way you have some different options if a couple of them hit.
Right. Yeah, I like that. I don't
know if you've ever looked into that, but that's kind of a play.
I've done some of them, but I like the straight up. There's a bunch of juice.
No, I mean I got you.
A bunch of juice. But let's hop into this next game. We got Chicago at Cleveland. Cleveland -3 with the over under 37.5. I have a play on this one, Troy. So I'm gonna let you take the lead on this, and then I'll come in with my final play for this week. You got anything on this one?
No. I would lean heavy on the Bears here. They look like a different football team. Justin Fields is kind of figuring it out. And I'll say this: the biggest strength of this Browns team is their pass rush and their front four. And what can Justin Fields do? Escape pressure. That's what he's best at. So I think they come in and cover this 3. I know they're in Cleveland and that defense clamps down in Cleveland, but I see this being a field goal game. So, either way you go, I get it. I get it if you go Browns here, but I would lean to the Bears. They have a little momentum going. And Flacco, he's been good. He was good last week, but let's see how he is, consistent. Let's see if he's consistent with the play. And we don't know that yet. So I would lean Bears here, but don't like it enough to take it, obviously. So what are you going with, Cole?
Yeah, kind of with the Justin Fields thing. What he likes to do is get outside the pocket, and he's not going to be able to do that against this team. Also, a huge thing of this Cleveland Browns defense is people aren't realizing is this secondary is no joke, man. This team is going to get pressure in your face, and they're going to make you throw the ball and make mistakes, and these DBs take advantage of it. I watched the Browns game last week. Man, that defense with those DBs and that pass rush. And if Joe Flacco can just do his job, he's a smart quarterback. He knows what to do with the football. And I think this Browns offense, the Browns really remind me of a really shitty 49ers team. They got all the pieces to be the 49ers, but they're just not like at the talented pieces that the 49ers have. Like they got all the Kmart brand players that the 49ers have. And then Joe Flacco, who's just Joe Flacco. He's an old man. But, yeah, give me Cleveland -3. Reason being, this pass rush is going to get to Justin. Justin's not going to be able to run around the field like he does every week. These DBs, they're going to make him throw it down the field. These DBs are going to take advantage of it, pick it off. I think Joe Flacco can dice this Chicago defense up, who has not been impressive at all this year. Chicago's defense has looked terrible. So, yeah, give me Joe Flacco and Cleveland at home just at a field goal. I just don't see where Cleveland loses this game, especially after Chicago coming off a huge, grinded it out divisional win against the Lions. Had Chicago the past 2 weeks, and they've cashed for me, so we're going to fade them this week. And we're going to take Cleveland -3 as the last pick of this week. Let's hop into this next game, though. I know you like something on this.
I haven't even had one yet.
You said what?
I said I haven't even had one yet. You're done.
Yeah, for real. I was about to say, mine are all out. There we go. Now your turn. All right, you got Kansas City.
Yeah, dude, and my Wi-Fi my Wi-Fi is on another level today. I don't
Oh
know
yeah.
what's going on.
You've
So
been you've been
if
frozen
I'm
almost the
lagging, I
entire show.
apologize.
All good. Kansas City at New England. New England plus 8.5 with the over under of 37. And I actually know one of our ATS guys, Rich, is going to be at this game actually. So we'll have to get some live updates from the field here. But yeah, New England plus 8.5 with the over under of 37. You got anything on this one, Troy?
I do. First pick of the week for your boy. I'm going to take the Kansas City Chiefs. It's minus 7.5. I think I saw earlier, so it might have went back up to 8.5. But I'm taking the Chiefs minus 7.5. Listen, the Patriots are a bad football team, and after last week with what happened to the Chiefs and Patrick Mahomes, even though I think it was the right call and he's a little baby, they're going to be pissed off. And they're going to come out, and I think they're going to come out firing. And this Patriots offense is not good. I'm not trusting Bailey Zappi at all. 7.5. I feel like they win this game by 10 to 14 points. So I will take the 7.5. It's come down as well. It was at 9.5, 10 earlier in the week, I believe. So I'll take the 7.5, and I'll lay it here with the Chiefs off of last week and the week before, where they're like, oh, the refs are deciding the games, all pissed off. Even though that was the right game, to whine about it. I get it. He's going to be pissed off. I see Rich is over here. He's a Patriots fan, so he's probably saying some dumb shit. But
he actually said he agrees with
you. Give me the Chiefs. Oh, okay. I can't really read it. Give me the Chiefs minus 7.5.
Love it.
Lock it in.
Love it. All right, let's hop into this next game. We got ATL going to Carolina. Carolina plus 3 with an over under 34. Dear Lord, man. NFC South, fucking hell. I mean, it's just a coin flip game, man. I'm not going to touch it. Both teams are terrible. Desmond Ridder sucks. Bryce Young sucks. Atlanta sucks. Panthers suck. That's all I got for this one. You got anything on this one, Troy?
No, I mean, you got to lean the Panthers here. Getting 3 points at home. Falcons aren't that much better.
Bryce Young's going to throw 2 pick sixes, though.
Every time I bet on him, he does. So I'm Wimmer. They're on the no bet list.
Yeah,
but I really do lean them heavy.
Yeah.
But like we said, they're on the no bet, so we're definitely not taking them. But I'd lean Carolina here at home, getting 3 points. Their defense is really good. That's the one thing that's good about this team is their defense always kind of keeps them in games at first, and then Bryce Young does something stupid and they're done. Like they should have won the game last week against the Saints. They should have won a bunch of games this year, but Bryce Young has been just awful. I guess it's that Alabama quarterback product, I guess. I mean,
they can't produce quarterbacks, man. They don't produce Matt Staffords.
No, they don't produce Super Bowl winning quarterbacks. Mm-mm. They produce losing quarterbacks in the Super Bowl, i.e. Jalen Hurts.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think Bryce Young is just whatever. I think he's a Bama guy. But I think that Bryce Young is too much of a question mark now for me to even lay anything with the Panthers, but I would lean that way just because of the spot here. I mean, that's the thing here, but not taking it. They're on the no bet list.
Yeah, for sure. And I definitely agree with you too, Rich. I don't think it's Bryce's fault at all. But he hasn't
offensive line's terrible too.
He also hasn't helped either, though. Come on,
yeah.
I mean, there's some instances where he's just been dog shit this year. His team's bad, but he's been dog shit too. Let's hop into this next one. We got Giants at New Orleans. We got New Orleans minus 6 with an over under of 38. Jeez, man. DeVito looks good. I think he's the only rookie quarterback to come into the middle of the season and win 3 straight, I believe. So that's pretty cool. But I'm not touching this. We cashed last week because we knew everyone was high on Green Bay and Jordan Love, and he looked so good against the Chiefs. We knew that the Giants were going to cover and beat them outright. We didn't know they were going to beat them outright, but we had a feeling. But yeah, nowhere to look on this one. Saints are on the no bet list. Not touching the Giants plus 6 again either, especially not traveling to New Orleans against this defense. But God, Derek Carr is terrible, so I can't look on the other side. No lean anywhere on this one. This is a no touch game. What you got on this one, Troy?
So this line started at 4, I believe, and the pros Sunday night hammered this thing up to 6. I would have taken the Saints at 4. I still lean the Saints at 6, but like you said, I mean, it's hard to bet on a team that's like 2-12 against the spread this year, or 3-11. I can't remember the number, something like that, really bad. So it's hard to bet on, and they're terrible in the red zone. I mean, awful in the red zone. I think the Tommy DeVito story is cool or whatever, but
Tying Stallion.
he'll be out of the league after this year or the next. He is what he is. He's gonna, if Saquon can get going like he did last week, then Tommy DeVito can be good. I mean, that's just how it is. But
but he's not playing Green Bay's defense.
Yeah, and the Saints' run defense is really good. So I would lean the Saints, but I'm not taking them because of how bad they are against the spread. So that's kind of my final say with it. We'll move on.
That 6 is a weird spot too. In my opinion, because I could definitely see this being right on the money at 6. But let's hop into this next one. Speaking of NFC South and Green Bay, we got Green Bay minus 3.5 with over under 41.5. Bucks are traveling to Green Bay.
Christian, this is a hammer the Bucs spot here. I'm not taking it, but I would lean Tampa Bay all day, every day. Baker Mayfield has that offense rolling. I think they have the better weapons as well with Mike Evans, Godwin. And Jordan Love, he looked terrible last week against the Giants. Like, they had to win that game last week to really put them ahead in the NFC wildcard race. And you go lose to Tommy DeVito. So I think Baker's playing well this year. Mike Evans is a freaking baller every year. I think he has 1,000 yards every season he's played. And they have some dogs at linebacker that for the Bucs. Their pass defense is not good, but we'll see. But I think 3.5 is too much. I think the Bucs cover this 3.5. The Packers might win the game, but 3.5 is a lot of points for this Bucs team. Are they still in first place in the NFC South, or did Atlanta take that back?
It's 3-way tie right now.
Okay.
It's Saints, Bucks, and Falcons 3-way tie right now. I would actually lean the other way. I would actually lean Green Bay. Only reason being is because I still think Green Bay is a good football team, and I still think Jordan Love is one of the best young quarterbacks in the league still. He didn't look great last week, but we talked about it, man. Like, there's something about when you're a young quarterback and you beat a guy like Mahomes or you beat a team like the Chiefs. That next week, man, you're living on a high all week, man. And then you got to go play Tommy DeVito or DeVito, whatever the fuck his name is, Italian Stallion. You got to go play him, and he's like, "Oh man, I just beat Mahomes. I'm gonna walk easy through this game." And then he gets his ass handed to him by the Italian Stallion, and I don't know. I think that was kind of a reality check for him. I don't think they're playing for a playoff spot. But, I mean, I could see Green Bay winning this. This is at home. This is a Tampa Bay team traveling to Green Bay.
I think he's questionable, Rich.
And one thing that we do know is when it comes to a Florida team traveling to one of these places like Lambeau, or they're going to New York, or they're going somewhere where it could possibly be snowing that day, it could possibly be 20 degrees, 30 degrees. Florida teams usually don't play too well in those weather conditions. So I'd actually lean Green Bay. I'm not going to take the hook, though. That's for damn sure, because I think it's definitely going to be a field goal game. But I would take it if it was -2.5. If it got down to -2.5 or -3, I would take it at -3. And worst case scenario, hopefully I push. But I'm not going to touch it, because like you said, Jordan Love didn't look great last week. He's still got a lot to prove before I start putting any more funds on him. But let's hop into this next one.
So if you think it's going to be a field goal game, then you would lean the Bucs.
At the 3.5, I think it's gonna be a field goal game, but I could definitely see where the Green Bay wins by 7 or 10 or something like that, because Baker, throws 2 picks and Tampa Bay can't stop anything.
Gotcha.
But let's hop into this next game. I know you like something on this one. We got Commanders traveling to LA. We got LA -6.5 with an over under of 50.5. I don't have anything on this one. I would have a big lean to the Rams. Only reason being is, dude, have you noticed when the Commanders made that trade and they traded away Sweat and Young, they have looked horrible ever since that trade. I think this defense just has so many holes in it. But what do you expect? You get rid of your 2 best defensive players, your defense is gonna have huge holes. Huge holes are gonna create in your defense. So I'm gonna stay away from this one, but big lean to the Rams.
No, yeah, you're spot on right there, and that's why I'm taking the Rams. They traded away Young and Sweat, and they have no pass rush now. The Rams have been protecting Stafford really well this year, and you've seen the last 4 or 5 weeks, the Rams look really good. I think they're one of the top 10 football teams in the league. They got screwed last week with that game. They should have won the game. Had some stuff go there wrong for them, but in Baltimore, they go toe to toe with the best team in the NFL. They look great. The secondary for Washington is not good. I believe on passes of 20 yards or more or something like that, they're giving up like a 70+ completion percentage, which was insane for 20 yards or more. They got Kupp and Puka doing that all game. I don't see how the Redskins can keep, or I do it every show. The Commanders.
Redskins, baby.
I don't see how the Commanders can keep up with it. And their run defense is really bad too. And Kyron Williams with LA now they got something going there for running the football. So you match that and that McVay offense. If you can get a guy running the football really well, then Stafford's going to be great in play action with Puka and Cooper down the field. I don't see how they stop him. And Sam Howell has some question. I think Sam Howell's good, but he has some questionable throws, especially when they get down every game and he's having to throw 55 times a game.
And he has no.
That's a lot for a young quarterback. He's going to turn the ball over probably. So I think 6.5. I think they get it done. It's probably going to be my biggest public play here, but I do like the Rams, man. I've liked them all year, and I'm gonna stick to it.
Yeah, I love it. I just love the Rams as underdogs. They're just like the best underdog team. Like we've said it all year, but they're such a good underdog team. But like when they're favorites, it just scares the living shit out of me. But let's hop into this next one. This is we got a total ass beating about to happen in Arizona. We got San Francisco traveling to Arizona. Arizona plus 12.5 with an over under of 47.5. No lean here. If I did lean anywhere, it'd probably be 49ers minus 12.5. What does Kyler Murray like to do? He likes to take off and run. What is he going to run into? He's going to run into a Bosa, Fred Warner, and Chase Young. So look out for that. This could be one of those games that's just either a blowout or Kyler Murray either somehow gets away from this pass rush. If he can figure out a way to get away from this pass rush, I think he can stay close, but I would lean San Francisco minus 12.5, but that's just too many points for me to take as a play. But you got anything on this one, Troy?
No, I think it's just too many points. I would lean. God, I wouldn't lean anyways. It's just too many points here. 12.5. So last week you saw with the Seahawks, the line was at 10, I believe. A lot of pro money came in on the San Francisco at 10. Line jumps up to 14. Then those same people bet the Seahawks at 14. The number lands on 12. The 49ers won by 12. So the books got hammered on the 49ers last week. So I don't see this line moving too much anymore because of that last week. And I think they got it at the right number at 12.5. So no value here for me at all. And you made a good point with Kyler. He can backdoor you with those legs. So yeah, nothing here.
Yeah. I love that point too. That 12.5, the moving up and down. Like I think this year they're like 12.5, and it's not fucking moving. They're like, exactly. We lost way too much fucking money last week. But let's hop into this next game. Dallas at Buffalo. Buffalo minus 1.5 with the over under of 50.5. No lean for me here. This is gonna be one that I put my feet up and enjoy. But I would honestly probably lean Buffalo at home under a field goal. But god damn it, does this fucking Dallas team look good and look like they're about to win the Super Bowl. So I'm going to stay away from this one. But right now when it comes to the league, it's either I think it's between 3 teams right now. Ravens, Cowboys, or San Francisco. I think those are the 3 teams that are going to possibly win the Super Bowl this year. And I have a future bet on Dallas to win the Super Bowl, so hopefully it's Dallas, but we shall see. But no pick for me here, but I lean Buffalo minus 1.5. You got anything on this one, Troy?
Oh, yeah. Lock of the week.
Uh-oh.
Give me the Buffalo Bill minus 1.5 in Buffalo. Bills Mafia is going to be rocking.
The Bildo.
Listen, you got to play the spots here. this is a spot where you take the Bills at home. They're 7-6, looking for a playoff spot. The Cowboys just came off a huge win against the Eagles. They've been playing super well at home, just killing teams at home. They're going to Buffalo in the cold. They're not in a dome. Josh Allen has been playing really well off a big last week against Mahomes and the Chiefs, and they're finally figuring things out, I think. So I think the Bills are going to beat the Cowboys, and we got to remember last year with the Cowboys, I think they were 10-3 at this time as well, and then just kind of everyone's talking about the Cowboys. They're riding high. Everyone's buying the Cowboys at the top of the market. You know where I come in. I come in right here and take the Bills. So give me the Buffalo Bills at home, -1.5. Public's going to be all over Dallas getting points. They're going to tear it up. Fucking love that shit.
Public is actually on the Bills. 55.5%. 55%.
The bet percentage or the
bet percentage.
What's the money at?
I didn't check the money. I just saw that there was 55% on the
That's a big
Bills,
indicator.
which surprised me a lot.
Well, the line was at 2.5 earlier.
Yeah, this line's also been up and down so much that I think
Yeah.
the public percentage is going to change.
Yeah, we'll see by Sunday what happens. But yeah, I think the Bills win this game. Get them to 8-6. Try to get them in a playoff spot. I mean, they're fighting for their lives here. Their schedule has been tough. They're playing a first place schedule. So, and the Cowboys on the road here in Buffalo. When's the last time they've done that? Yeah, give me Josh Allen. Give me Buffalo. Give me Bills Mafia.
Love it. Love it. And y'all see there, Troy's 10-4 on the year with the lock of the week. So, not many misses. Let's just say that. Let's go hop into this.
We should be 11-3 after changing my damn pick last week.
That was rough. But hey, moving on to this week, baby. Buffalo -1.5.
Live and we learn, baby. We live and we learn.
Next game we got Baltimore at Jacksonville. Jacksonville +3 with an over/under of 42.5. No pick for me here. Big lean to Jacksonville +3. What does Baltimore like to do? They like to play down to their competition. They like to play up to their competition. +3 at home. I mean, Duval. I'll probably be taking this one game day, but not as one of my other plays. I like my 4 other ones a lot better, but this is probably number 5 or 6 on my list here. Huge lean to Jacksonville +3 after their tough loss to Cleveland, and we were on that one. But Jacksonville +3 at home. I mean, huge lean. You got anything on this one, Troy?
Yeah, last pick of the week. Jacksonville +4. It's at 3 now, apparently. When we did our production meeting this morning, this number was at 4. And
we take all of our picks on Monday too, guys. So keep that in mind. So
it's Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. It just depends on when we do it. But this morning it was at 4. Injury, all that good stuff. I still like it at 3. I like it at 3.5. I'll take the 4. Like Christian said, right? He's spot on there. They have to win this game as well. They're trying to win that AFC South division. Baltimore's got away with some wins this year they shouldn't have won. They're going on the road here. Trevor Lawrence is 2 weeks off of that ankle injury, so hopefully he's back to himself this week. And the running game needs to get going for Jacksonville, but it's going to be tough against that defense. So it's going to be on T-Law and the boys there. I just know it's a must-win for Jacksonville. They're catching 4 points at home. It's tough not to take them. I mean, they're a good football team, playoff football team. This is going to be a playoff atmosphere. And I'm not saying they're going to win the game. 4 points is a lot. So you could see this thing being a field goal game. Justin Tucker can come in and win it for him, whatever. But we'll take the 4 here at home.
Love it. Another thing too is Jacksonville plays different in Duval, man. I mean, that place gets. I went to a game earlier this year, Indianapolis, against the Jaguars in Jacksonville, and man, dude, that place was loud. And those fans, man, they love the Jags because they've been through so many years of just sucking dick. That this year, that finally, it's like, oh, we could go to the Super Bowl. So. A lot of hype in Jacksonville right now on this team. They love their Jaguars. It's the only team they got in the city to celebrate in that godforsaken city. Jacksonville, I love them at home +3. But yeah, let's hop into this next game. We got Philly at Seattle. Seattle plus 3.5 with an over under 47.5. I would honestly probably lean Seattle plus 3.5 here at home. Kind of like what we said about Jacksonville. It's different when you're playing at the house. We saw what they did against Dallas at home. I think they can do the same thing to the Eagles, especially with Jalen Hurts, as we saw last week. Me and Troy kind of talked about it a good bit. Jalen Hurts' legs just haven't looked the same this year. He just looks like he's not running at full capacity like he was last year, running all over the place, juking and jiving, all that good stuff. He's basically running and then he's looking to get down. So he's kind of running a little timid. I just don't think he's the same running quarterback that he was last year. So I huge lean to Seattle plus 3.5. I do think that Philly wins this game, but I think it will be a field goal game. So I like Seattle plus 3.5. You got like anything on this one, Troy?
Yeah, I'm totally opposite. I have it written down here. This was my last one out, so I might tweet this one out if I can get Christian on board with it. But Eagles minus 3.5 all day, every day here. Geno Smith is questionable again. Drew Lock would be the quarterback for the Seahawks again, as like he was last week. And I'm going to just go through this with you real quick because this is a big point for me. Their schedule this year, okay, this has been tough, but the last 6 weeks, Dolphins, Commanders, divisional game on the road, Cowboys, Chiefs, Bills, 49ers, Cowboys. That's like you're playing the Cowboys, the 49ers,
We lost you, Troy.
and the Dolphins. All best teams in the league right there.
Oh, there you are. We got you.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we got you back.
Sorry. My point is that their schedule is tough. It's a first-place schedule. They're finally getting a breather this week with the Seahawks, and they're the more physical football team. So I know people are talking about the defense, but the offenses they've gone against are good. Like, you can see that, right? So
Right.
They're getting a breather this week. I know they're going on the road. Everyone's talking noise about them. I think they're going to be ready, and I think they win this game, by 7 to 10 points. So I would lean the Eagles heavy here. I just like the 4 on the board a little bit better. But I mean, the schedule for them, man, is tough. So yeah, I would lean them heavy here. And like I said, if I can get Christian on board, we're going to tweet that one out because I don't see how they lose this game.
I'm all for Philly at minus 3.5 if Geno does not play. But if Geno does play, I'm all over Seattle plus 3.5 because I think
we'll beg to differ on that.
What this line is telling us is that Geno is going to play. How well, we don't know. There's just a lot of unknowns in this game. But I mean, if Geno gets ruled out and this line stays at 3.5, which it won't, but if somehow it does, I am all over Philly. But right now, I don't know, man. Like you said, they got a lot of tough teams coming up. But what I don't want to see from Philly is a look ahead spot. Like say, hey, we got these tough games coming up, blah blah. They're looking ahead for these bigger opponents, and they're not thinking about the Seattle team at home with an injured quarterback. So they're like, we'll relax this week, and then it's back to work. So we'll see, man. I don't see where they could lose 3 weeks in a row, though.
Christian, I'm going to correct you real quick. Their schedule to end the year is the second easiest in the NFL. They're going Seahawks, Giants, Cardinals, Giants. So what I was my point was they're finally done with the gauntlet. No, talking about Philadelphia's.
Oh, okay. They just went through a gauntlet. And
I brought up the games.
Outside. Okay.
Correct. That's what I was trying to make a point of. Is they're done with. They're 10-3. They just went through the gauntlet right there, and they got 4 easy games right here to go into the division. They got to win them to go win it, right?
Right.
So that was kind of my point of saying, yeah, I 3.5. I don't see how they don't do that. But we'll talk about it more.
And they're battling for the division, so that's another thing as well.
Yeah, exactly.
Because them and Dallas right now are so close. This is a must-win spot. So yeah, I definitely agree. I think Philly will win this game. Like I said, there's no way that they lose this game. I don't think, but I could see it by being a field goal and screwing us. So
right.
But yeah, that's it for us guys. That's the last game of the week there. But yeah, man, like, subscribe, comment, give us y'all's plays of
Yeah,
the week, y'all's parlays. Maybe we'll take some and feature
make
them on the
sure
show if we really like them.
make sure you're following the socials. It's up top right there at ATS_sports with 2 S's. Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, all the good stuff. We post our plays on Twitter. Think we're about. Me and Christian are gonna talk some more, and we're gonna start posting on Instagram as well the plays. And bowl season's coming up as well. We're gonna be diving into that, and we'll be posting some stuff on Twitter, Instagram for those. I'm Troy. That's Christian. Thanks for tuning in to ATS here, Week 15 NFL picks. We'll see you next week.
Yes, sir.